Hello, my friends. Jeff Burchell here. I believe I'm live. Everything looks good here. Yep, we're good to go. I hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. This Saturday, June 14th, 2014, and I welcome you to the webinar here, the Hangout. I appreciate your time. Thank you for stopping by, checking out what's going on. So this week, I've been a little quiet. I haven't been emailing, and there's been some things going on. I'm going to talk about that. Some temporary setbacks, some challenges I had to get through, and in order to keep moving forward. In life, we're always and constantly going to face challenges. That's just part of life. If we're not being challenged, we're probably not growing. We're probably not doing something to make our lives better. A lot of times, it's real easy to just get set in that just kind of cruise control mode. And if you've got a job, it's real easy to just show up to work every day and just collect a paycheck. Unfortunately, doing that really just leads to a life of collecting paychecks and never really getting ahead, never moving in a direction that you really want to go. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of different avenues that we can take to start making a difference in our life. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, if you're just here visiting, if you're already doing something else, or if even in your job, if you want to become better, get those advancements, get those promotions, there's certain things you have to do. You have to take initiative. You have to show interest. You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and do something maybe you're not entirely familiar with, or not even really that comfortable with. A lot of times stepping into a management position, the idea of being a manager, is great because you're thinking about the money and the title. And then you get to those positions and you realize that there's a lot of other stuff that goes with it, like having to lay people off and having to discipline other people because, some people don't take initiatives. They just show up. And sometimes they show up late and that kind of stuff, right? That's the way business goes. That's the way life works. So the past couple of weeks in my home business, in what I do personally here, I faced a couple challenges that have been discouraging. I'll admit it. It's been a little tough because I'm human. I'm not a robot. I'm not a machine. I've got feelings. I've got hopes and dreams and aspirations for my life and my family. So it started a couple weeks ago, first with YouTube. You might have seen my video of my Screw YouTube video. And what happened is YouTube actually terminated my account. Over 400 videos just gone. And it's not even really the videos that I care about. It's the progression. It's where I started from, and those very beginning videos when I was just so nervous and so afraid to be behind a camera and sharing what I had to say. So it was neat to every once in a while look back at those old videos and see that Jeff of that time compared to where I am now. I can sit here behind my camera. I can talk to you with confidence and with assurance because I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in myself. I've done a lot of work on myself. And if I hadn't done that stuff, what I've been going through the past couple of weeks probably would have affected me in different ways. A lot of times, these temporary defeats we face in life, they stop people dead in their tracks, and they're just not able to take another step forward because of fear or because of disappointment. And like I said, there's always going to be challenges. And the true leaders, the true people who are going to make change in life are the people who go ahead and get back up and they take another step, or they push through that fear when they're scared to death about what that next choice is going to make, but they go ahead and go for it anyways. So YouTube was my first little challenge a couple weeks ago, and I'm still working on that. I'm determined to get my account back. I believe that I was targeted by malicious people out there. There are people who unfortunately do business in a way that they think bringing others down is going to lift their business. So what they do is they search out people that are posting videos about Empower Network. That's the business I'm in, company that I promote, the network marketing company that I love, that I'm passionate about. I talk about it, I make videos about it, I write you about it, and really it's all, it is all I promote. I don't ever send you guys stuff about anything else. It's all related to this business. So people actually target our videos, and I'm not the only one this has happened to. This has happened to hundreds of people in Empower Network probably. I know of quite a few personally. But these people will search out videos, they'll flag them and report them. And the 3 video, it takes 3, you get 3 strikes and you're out. So my 3 videos were all personal videos directed towards my team. They were training videos. One of them was me just literally telling my story. I wasn't pitching anything at all. I was talking about a challenge I went through about 2 years ago with my son, and just how this business has helped me. It was not in violation of any terms of YouTube. I looked up their terms, and I promise you there was no violation. But it's an algorithm. It's computers, right? So those 3 strikes, and the computers kick in, and they automatically suspend your account. And then you can go in and you can kind of dispute it, and then supposedly a person goes and checks the videos, which I don't really believe either, because we know that there's only a handful of people at the YouTube compliance area. There's not hundreds of people watching these videos all day to make sure everyone is compliant. So what I'm working on is actually getting through to a real person who will actually listen to what I have to say, and will actually investigate my account a little bit, and they'll see that I'm not in violation of their terms. Of those 400 videos, I really only got a few thumbs downs. I don't really openly promote a lot of my videos, because a lot of them are intended for my blog posts. They're intended for my email subscribers. So that was the first challenge, right? And like I said, it was discouraging. So my second challenge that came up in this meantime was my autoresponder. And what an autoresponder is it's an email broadcasting system. It's how I collect emails. It's how I organize my emails. It's how I send out mass emails to my list. I don't, when I email you, I'm not going through one by one emailing every single person that I'm in contact with. It's a standard way of doing business online. Groupon is a great example of a company that collects emails. Regardless of what you think their business is, it's not in discounting products and services. Groupon's business is collecting emails, then sending geo-targeted offers to people. So they're probably the biggest collector of emails on the planet right now. That's what they do. That's how they stay in business. So obviously they're not emailing 30 million people one person at a time. It just doesn't work that way. So an autoresponder service, they have some built-in things. Like, first off, I never buy lists. I never import emails. I never scrape emails off of anywhere. If you're reading my emails, if you're getting my emails, it's because you've opted in somewhere. Probably paidtoblogdaily.com, my main site that I use on Craigslist. And you know what? Regardless of what you think, regardless of what you thought it was, I'm very open. I'm very upfront. As soon as you put your email address, and even on the front page, it says right there that it's not a job. It says that this is an opportunity for people who are looking for more in life. A lot of people don't bother to read everything. They get real excited, put their email address in, and then they see, well, this isn't a job. Well, no, it's not a job. It was never a job in the first place. I wasn't telling you it was a job. And they get mad or something, I don't know, feel like they've been deceived, or what will happen is they'll forget. You know, I've put my email address in hundreds of those little boxes for requesting more information. I literally get, this week, in my Yahoo account, I've gotten 570 emails this week alone. And did I opt into all of them? Probably not. I'm probably getting a few of them that are spam. How do I know what is spam, and how do I know which ones are not? It's really easy. If you go into an email, scroll all the way to the bottom, and if there is no way to unsubscribe, that's a spam email. That's something you did not request. That is somehow your email address has been sold or traded or something, and somebody's emailing you without your permission. Look at the bottom of every single email that I send out. You will always, always, always find an unsubscribe link. It's put there automatically and mandatorily by the autoresponder service, by Aweber. I don't even have a choice in it. It's the law. It has to be there, along with my address and showing that, you know, I'm a real entity, or real person, real business. So what happened was, over the past couple of weeks, I've really, you know, 2 weeks ago, I started really promoting and pushing hard. I was sending out a few emails a day at times, because we had some really incredible things going on. We had some changes take place that really opened the doors for a lot more people to do something more with their lives. So I was excited. I wanted to share what was going on. And of course, through that, there's going to be people that are going to hit the spam button. That's, if you're going to get into internet marketing, if you're going to do things online, you've got to realize that there's going to be haters out there. There's going to be people that no matter what you do, what you say, they are going to take the opposite of it. They're going to take the negative approach, and they're going to retaliate somehow. I mean, I've gotten emails from an old lady using some of the nastiest language I've ever seen in my life. I've gotten threatened. I had a guy up in Maine who threatened to come whoop my ass. I mean, good luck with that, buddy. I live in the country of Shawnee, out by Shawnee, Oklahoma. Good luck finding me, okay? And I've had people threaten lawsuits against me, and you know what? None of it has a leg to stand on because I'm fully within the law. What I do is legitimate. Okay, if you entered your email address and you hit submit to request more information, and then I start emailing you, I am perfectly within my right. I could email you 30 times a day if I chose. And your action, your recourse on that is to either hit the spam button or unsubscribe or respond and tell me to stop emailing you. And I'll unsubscribe you manually without a hesitation, because you know what? I'm not talking to everybody. I have no interest in talking to everybody. If you hate me, if you don't like the way I look, you don't like my voice, you don't like my message, I don't care. I just don't care. And I'm not going to take that crap personally. And I highly encourage you to do the same thing. Don't let other people's opinions affect you. The only people's opinions that should matter to you are the people that you love the most, and even then, you've still got to be careful. You've still got to be careful what people are telling you if they're not in alignment with your dreams and your goals. The world's changing, my friends. The days of job security, the days of a pension, the days of working for a company for 40 years and retiring are disappearing by the second. We've got to do more. We've got to become more. We've got to increase our value, because the more value we can bring to the marketplace, the more value we get back in the form of compensation, in the form of being paid. So it's going to happen. People are going to hit spam, and that's I'm fine with that. If you're not interested, go back to my email that you might have just got from me inviting you to this hangout, and go ahead and unsubscribe. And now with that said, now I want to talk to the people that are here, that want to be here. There's going to be challenges, guys. There's going to be setbacks. You're going to make the best plans, the best intentions, and it's probably not going to go exactly how you want it to. That's life. That's part of the journey of success. As success is not a destination, it's a journey. So we have to be mentally prepared for that. And how do we do that? How do we keep our minds focused? How do we keep our minds positive and in tune with what we are seeking in life? We do that by having clarity in what we actually want, having clarity in our goal, in our dreams. And if you're just starting that journey of entrepreneurship or home business, or even wanting to get that promotion at work, you need to have a clear, definite purpose of where you're going. We call it a major definite purpose if you were to study Napoleon Hill and the philosophies of success. In the beginning, it's perfectly fine to have a financial goal. Why not? Why shouldn't we want to have money? If there's a lot of debates, I see it all the time on Facebook and in groups. Is money the root of all evil? Well, it's money. As Zig Ziglar says, money is not the most important thing, but it's right up there next to oxygen. How do we live without it? We don't. We struggle. We scrape by. We go through pain. We are indebted to people. We have no control over our lives if we don't have the finances to do the things that we want to do. So money's important. There's no question about it. And if you think it's not, why don't you head over to your bank and tell them you'd like to deposit some love and see what kind of looks you get from the teller. Okay? Let's be honest here. Let's be real. So in the beginning, it's perfectly fine. If your intention is to move in a direction, why not have it a financial direction, a goal, a monetary goal? And that, like I said, it doesn't matter what you're doing. That could relate to a job. If you wanted that pay raise, well, you're going to have to put in the value to earn that raise. If you're going to make money online, you're going to have to put out the value that will, in exchange, return you the money. That's how it works. Let's take Apple for example. I've got my iPhone right here. I didn't pay Apple for this iPhone for nothing, to get nothing in my hand. This is a physical representation of the value, right? So there's always got to be an exchange there. It's an exchange of ideas, an exchange of products, an exchange of service. That's what business is. So we have to constantly be working on ourselves, and that's one of the things I really love about Empower Network is that it's not all about business. Four of our 8 core commitments are based on personal development, on personal change. Without working on that, without going through courses and reading books and plugging into the Empower Hours and that kind of things, I probably wouldn't have been able to cope with what I went through the past couple of weeks. I probably would have quit, to be real honest with you. And how do I know that? Because that was my pattern. This isn't the first home business I've been in. This isn't my first rodeo. I've done so many home businesses. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it. I've done things from Quickstar, which was the online version of Amway. I've done these little packets. They were little mineral packets that you dropped into your bottle of water and you shook it up and it added minerals to your water. I've done phone cards. I've done affiliate marketing, niche marketing, so many things. And when things got tough, I just quit. When I didn't get the results that I wanted in the beginning, I just quit. When I didn't sponsor 3 people in the first month, I just quit. I was in Primerica. It's a life insurance and debt debt reduction kind of company, and they have this program where in the first month it's called a fast track, I believe, and they try to help you get 3 people involved. And I didn't do that. I didn't get my first 3 in. I didn't make the list of my friends and family, because I never liked that idea. And I had already burnt my friends and family out, hitting them up 100 times before. So, first off, I wasn't listening to my mentor. I wasn't listening to the guy who was telling me, who was having success, who was doing it full time, because I wanted to do it my way. And, right or wrong, good or bad, in those businesses, they have these models set up for a reason. A lot of them are a lot outdated. That whole make a list of your 50 closest friends and family, that's so used. It's so burnt out. And there's better ways to do business now with internet, social media, and just what we have access to at the tips of our fingers through the internet. There's better ways. That's what we teach here. That's what I promote, is not hounding those people. I don't pick up the phone and prospect. I don't buy the lists of people and get their phone numbers and start hammering them. I don't like talking on the phone. So let's have a little coffee break for a second. So there's a different way. There's a different method or different formula we can use to create different results in our lives. A lot of times we're still going to have to be willing to step out of our comfort zones. For example, making videos. Video is extremely popular. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, right behind Google, the owner of YouTube. We're talking about, just millions and millions of video views every single day from one place. So it's extremely important. If you're going to be online, eventually you're going to have to break out of your comfort zone and get behind a camera and let people know who you actually are. And doesn't that make more sense? Doesn't it make more sense to make one video and put it out there where you can speak to hundreds, thousands of people without having to get in a room with them? If you're seeing this video, I didn't chase you down at Walmart and run up to you and, hey, you look like a sharp individual. Do you keep your options open? No. I'm still getting my message out there. I'm still sharing without having to do all that. And other things like being willing to pick up a book. It's crazy to think for over 10 years I did not pick up a single book. Not a single book. And if I did read something, it was entertainment. It was definitely not educational. And then I heard this saying. I heard leaders are readers. And that stuck. I thought, well, it makes sense if I can learn from somebody else's experience, because fortunately I'm one of those people that can. I can see what other people are doing and not have to go through that experience to learn from it. I watched my older brother and sister put themselves through absolute hell, and I was able to learn to not do that, and I'm in a much different place than they are in my life. So the problem I realized was it's not that I didn't like reading, it was that it was so slow for me. Back to the video thing. We're in an age that we've got at our hands, at anywhere we can watch a video and instantly see it, hear it, and even emotionally connect with it anywhere. So reading felt slow to me. It felt like a painful process. And it wasn't that I didn't know how to read. I learned how to read in school. It was that the way I read, because I didn't continue to develop my reading skills. And maybe you have this problem too. I used to sub-vocalize every single word I would read. And so when I started, I actually bought this software. It was a speed reading app called IQ. I did this somewhere around here. This was a few years ago, back in 2008, I think it was. Maybe you remember the commercials. They used to be on TV quite a bit, speed read, to learn how to speed read. And they have tests in there, and they test you how fast you read. I started reading at 180 words a minute. That is extremely slow. So if you were to think that like an average page of a book is about 500 words, it was taking me about 2 to 3 minutes to read one page of a book. So, you look at a book that's like 300, 400 pages long, you're talking about months of reading. And that's what I realized was my struggle there. I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, and I'll get to my point in a second. But maybe that's a struggle for you too. Maybe it's just so slow that you can't develop those pictures in your mind like a movie to keep things moving along. So I went through that, and last year or a year and a half ago, I bought an app for I'm going to show you my iPhone again. I bought an app for the iPhone, and it was called AccelerRead. It was like $6. And it's a speed reading program. It helps you learn how to read in blocks rather than one word at a time. When I started that one, I was reading at about 250 words a minute, and through going through the course, it's a 10-day course. It starts with beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And so through a 10-day course, it goes through these different exercises to help you strengthen your eyes, read in blocks of words rather than one word at a time. And today, I'm reading at an average of about 550 words a minute. So things move a lot more for me when I'm reading. I can develop those pictures in my mind, and the story is almost like watching a movie on TV or at the movie theater. So where I was going with this, a little tip: if you struggle with reading, but you know it's important and you feel like it's something you'd like to do, that app just go to your app store and look up AccelerRead. It'll make a huge difference for you, I promise. It's very simple. It takes about 8 minutes a day for 10 days. And, you know, I've been repeating it over and over to continually increase my vocabulary and my speed read. So if you don't like if reading's just not your thing, you know, a lot of people out there, it's just not their thing. That's fine too, because we can get audiobooks. We can go to iTunes and download the same exact books that you could read, but somebody else reading them to you, so you can just listen. A lot of people out there are auditory. They learn by hearing. So the main thing is why not? You know, why not learn from those other people's experiences? If a guy went through 5 years of hell to become successful and then he wrote a book about it that we could read in a couple hours, why not? You know, even if there's just one little nugget you can take away from that, it could change your life. And where I'm ultimately going here is the book I'm reading right now. It's called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I might be butchering his last name. Start with why. It talks about having a why. You know, why you do something, why companies stick around, why they become almost cult-like. Like, let's take Apple for example. How come Apple has become almost a cult of following? People are obsessed. How come people will wait in line for 17, 20 hours to buy the latest phone or latest gadget that has the Apple logo on it? It's not because the products are really all that superior. I mean, really, a MacBook is a $2,000 machine to get on Facebook with, right? A lot of people out there use it for a lot more, but generally, most people, that's what they use their computers for, is just to get online, maybe write a few things, a few documents or that type of thing. But why would somebody spend $2,000 for a machine that is actually slower than a lot of PCs, has less software, less ports? I mean, you can't even hook up as many things, but yet they'll still wait in line for hours and days to get this new stuff. It's because of Apple's why they are in business. I'm probably going to butcher their why, but it's to resist the status quo and give the individual. I'm sorry, I'd have to look that up. But to resist the status quo, basically, right? If you've ever paid attention to Apple commercials, they never show like a group. They never show a bunch of people. It's always one person, the one individual, the one rebel, right? With his iPhone and his going out on his mission in life and achieving his dreams, right? That's Apple portrays the individual resisting the status quo. And that why they're in business appeals to a lot of people who feel like they're rebels deep down inside, that want to be a part of something bigger, a part of a movement, not just a product. That's, you know, you take, on the other hand, a company like Dell Computers, and there's just not that following. Although you go into almost any office in America, and every computer under a desk will almost be a Dell. But people don't line up to buy them. Dell is not a why company. They're a what. It's, you know, what their product is. They're affordable computers, right? But people just don't have the connection like they do to Apple. So having that why is really important, having a personal why. Why am I in business? Well, I'm in business because, first off, I want to provide for my family. I want to make a change. I want to give other people the opportunity, the support, the tools to change their lives. And ultimately, I want to be a part of a foundation that's very close to my heart. And I want to be a big part of that foundation where I'm making big differences in life. I want to help other families that have gone through what my wife and I have gone through with our son, so that other families out there don't feel alone. We would like to get to the point where we're sponsoring a family every single year to pay for all their medical bills, because we know what it's like to have that weight of thousands and thousands of dollars of medical bills sitting on our shoulders with a very small glimmer of hope in the future of ever getting out of under it. That's That's kind of my why. Why is Empower Network here? Why did Dave create Empower Network in the first place? They're extremely successful guys. In anything they could have done, in any business Dave would have chose, he could have been the top recruiter, the top earner, the top guy. But he saw an inherent problem with network marketing, with direct sales, with multi-level marketing, is that there are a very small handful of people out there that can get incredible results. They've got the knowledge, they've got the confidence, they've got the skills, and they make it happen. But that's not duplicatable. You know, like AK was telling us about his start with Empower Network, and he would work, excuse me, like 14 hours a day, you know, just connecting with people, making videos, doing marketing and stuff. And a lot of people just, they're not going to do that. I'm one of them. I don't have 14 hours a day to sit at my computer and work on my home business. I've got a wife. I've got two small children. I want some of my time with them. Of course I've got to work. Of course we've got to do things, income producing activities, right? Whether it's a job or working online, blogging, making products, whatever. We have to be doing something that makes money for us. So Dave saw this thing that nobody could duplicate what he was doing. He would do it for them, and still people wouldn't do it. You know, and he would give them all the tools, and still they just couldn't get it. So what he did was he came up with Empower Network, and why he did that was to give everybody the tools, the knowledge, and the support to create success in network marketing online. If you look at the statistics, it's a very, very small percentage of people that actually make a lot of money in network marketing. You look at the big boy, you know, Amway. They've got literally millions of reps, but there's not a whole lot of people that are double and triple diamond. It's a very small handful of people. And is that right or wrong? Well, that's up to debate. And a lot of people, they instantly throw out the pyramid, right? This is a pyramid. Well, everything is, my friend. Okay, look at the company you work for. There's probably an owner or a president or a CEO or something, right? We'll start right there at the top, and then you step down and you've got your executives, you've got your managers, you've got your supervisors. You step down again, that gets a little wider. You've got your employees, right? So there's always going to be somebody at the top who is getting the most benefit from the legs. That's just the way it is. So is it wrong that there's people in network marketing that make millions of dollars a year? No, absolutely not. They deserve it. They worked for it. They took action. They put themselves out there. They have become servant leaders by helping other people. And that's why Empower Network was created. Dave wanted to give us all the ability to be the guru without having to be a guru. I don't need to create products. I've tried it. I created a product called Ugly Article Writing for Ugly Article Writing for Pretty Profits. And in that course, I taught how to quickly write articles. I've created a backlinking product. I've created a advertising product. And all of these were extremely time-consuming. The marketing was pretty rough, getting, you know, JVs and affiliates and that kind of thing, and I just still didn't get the results that I was wanting. So, you know, we can go the other ways and look at those people too. There's product creators out there that make a great deal of money compared to the vast majority of people who make products. And it's just the way business is. There's always going to be differences, and we can't compare. We can't compare our results where we're at right now with like Dave, you know, somebody that's making 6 figures a month, and absolutely no guarantees here, okay? If you want to see the income disclaimer, click the link at the bottom of the page. But we can't compare. If you're just starting, if you're just watching this, if you just joined, you can't compare your results even with mine. That's not fair to yourself, because all you're doing is defeating yourself. You've got to understand that it's a process, that you're going to have to go through steps, through phases to get to where you want to be. What Empower Network does is time collapses. Instead of 3 to 5 years, or in the job place 35 to 40 years, you can do this in 90 days, 6 months, a year, 2 years. It really depends on what you're willing to do, how far you're willing to step out of your comfort zone. I'm coming up on, in, let's see, today's the 14th, in less than a month. This will be 2 years in Empower Network for me. Am I where I want to be? Absolutely not. But I'm a hell of a lot better off today than I was 2 years ago when I started. It's my journey has taken some turns. In the beginning, I've talked about this before. When I first started, I just got in and just got busy. I started sharing, started promoting, and I sponsored a few people right away. And then December came around, my first year, and 10 people quit in 1 week. And I took that really personally. I thought that was my failure. I thought that was something I did. And after that week, for about 2 months, I did absolutely nothing. I put my own brakes on. I skidded to a stop and hit a glass ceiling, okay? And by the time I got going again, I had lost momentum. So in effect, I was starting over. And it took some time to get that momentum going again. And come last year, we had another little hiccup. The Empower Network tried something a little different that they admit was a bad idea. It was a lot of hype, and it really kind of took us in a direction that was kind of confusing. And luckily, Dave realized that and brought us back to the foundation, the fundamentals that created $60 million in sales that first year. So we're back on track, and that's a wonderful thing. And at that time, I went through another bump in my business and another phase of people dropping off. And again, I thought it was something I was doing because I had been doing like daily team calls or daily team training. I'd been doing daily live blogging. I'd been just all kinds of stuff. And then I had to step back. I had to take a look at it and say, you know what I'm doing, if I was to look at it from the outside, I wouldn't want to do that. So why would anybody else? We've got to be honest, right? We've got to be put our egos aside and willing to take that feedback, whether it's from our mentors or from God or the universe or wherever we're getting feedback from. We've got to be willing to take it and move with it. So through this, that personal development, that reading, all along I've been reading books, reading Think and Grow Rich, The Laws of Success, Millionaire Mind, Start with Why, What to Say When You're Talking to Yourself, just all kinds of stuff, so that I'm continually working on my mindset so that when I hit those little glass ceilings, I can either punch through them, or identify them, move the ceiling a little higher, or whatever it takes to keep going. So it's important, that mindset of knowing, that you can get through it, that you can work through it, that other people have been there and got through it. It's very important. And that clarity of knowing what you want is important too. That's the other part that I never got clear enough on what I was doing. So there's in the book Think and Grow Rich, there's the self-confidence formula and the major definite purpose. I highly encourage you to read that book and take some time and figure out what your major definite purpose is. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I thought I heard my son come out into the garage. So, without that clarity, and I didn't have that clarity, so when I would hit those walls, when those people quit, I didn't have a clear purpose, a clear idea of where I was going. So of course people aren't going to follow. Of course people aren't going to take action themselves and start following their dreams if what I'm saying isn't, if I'm not doing what I say. So this a couple months ago, I took a lot of time, sat down, wrote out my major definite purpose, recorded it on my iPhone. I listen to it every morning. I've memorized it so that anytime I feel like I'm sitting back a little bit, I can say that to myself. I can say this self-confidence formula in order to help lift my own spirits and help me keep moving forward. It's important. It's very, very important. We do Monday through Friday, we do the morning mindset call, Paul Hutchings, the Think and Grow Rich call. I talk about this often. You can go to thinkandgrowrichaudios.com. You can get a free download of Think and Grow Rich and the Laws of Success. You can find out what time the daily calls are. And that call alone has made a huge difference in my life. It's something I can call into every morning and hear the enthusiasm, the spirit, the excitement of other entrepreneurs, other people on that journey out there in life that are sharing their energy. And having that helps to get through the hard times. It helps when A. Weber is telling you they're going to terminate your account and you feel like a weight of pressures on your shoulders, but with some enthusiasm, with some excitement, with a clear purpose, you can still hold it. You can carry it until you get through, and then you drop that rock and move on. So I'm going to wrap it up today. I don't want to just drone on here about being clear, reading, and uh, just never give up. You know, that's the message here today. You just never can give up. If your dreams, if your family are really that important to you, if what you want in life is really that important to you, nothing will stop you. Nothing. No walls, no setbacks. You're going to find a way over, under, or through. Or a lot of times, you know, we get this big wall in front of us, and it's got a door right there. There's a door. And all we have to do is simply walk up, grab the handle, open the door, and walk through. Sometimes it's really not as complicated as it seems. So, have a great day, my friends. I hope you enjoyed my little talk this morning. I look forward to getting back to business this week. I'll be sharing a lot more. We'll get back into things now that I've got that stuff sorted out, and keep sharing this message. Keep sharing the why of Empower Network, the why I'm here, and we'll continue to change people's lives. And that's a great thing. You know, when you see people on your team having success, when you see people in your downline having success. I've got a couple down from me who had a $5,000 day. Once again, no guarantee. That's awesome. You know, it's awesome to think that because I made a decision, because I took action, in a way, I've helped somebody else too. I've been a part of somebody else's journey too. If I hadn't made this choice, maybe they wouldn't be here today too. So you never know. You never know what your decision is going to do. You never know how your story might affect somebody else. Somebody out there right now might be going through exactly what you've been through already or what you're going through, and they just need to hear it. They need to hear that they're not alone, that it will be okay. Every once in a while, we just need to hear that everything's going to be okay. No matter where you're at, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how bad it might seem, there are better things in your future, my friend. Just go out and get them. Have a great day.